Yes, morning all.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so class today, this you might be knowing that today the lectures will be there till 2:30. The schedule for the lectures for today, they will be all the lectures will be conducted and they will be getting finished up at 2:30 p.m. today. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for the third lecture, for the lab, the practical AI lab thing, the lecture will be there at 11:30. Fine. For the lab, AI lab, theory will be there today. Right now, today we'll be conducting the duration will be little less for the lecture, maybe 9:30 to 10 a.m. or something like that. And for the lab AI, we will be discussing at 11:30 today. So we'll be discussing the new topic today, that is Bayesian networks. A little bit of it we discussed in the previous lecture. So we will be taking up that today only. I hope my screen is visible to all. Yes, screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be taking up today the Bayesian networks as discussed in the previous class. We were discussing reasoning under uncertainty, right? And in that, basically, we covered the syntax and the semantics of probability theory, right? Now, coming on to the Bayesian networks or belief networks. What are these? Basically, these are the key technologies to deal with uncertainty. Fine. So these are the key technologies which enables us to deal with the scenarios concerning the uncertainties. Fine. Now in this, we will be seeing that is how to capture the uncertain knowledge under this Bayesian networks. How to arrive at Bayesian networks, that is the syntax part, and what we will be seeing in this is how to interpret the encoded knowledge, fine, in Bayesian networks. That is what is the meaning of the knowledge which is captured in these scenarios. Fine. So these three things we will be discussing under the Bayesian networks. Fine. And today lab will be there, AI lab will be there. will be at 11:30 Google Meet. Fine. It will be there today. So stay active during this time. So previous class we have discussed various the topics like syntax and semantics dealing with the probability theories. Under that we saw the conditional probabilities and unconditional probabilities, then axioms we saw, and some other topics related to the uncertainty theory we discussed it. Now this is our next topic that we are discussing today, that is the Bayesian networks or the belief networks we refer to them. So these are basically the technologies that we use in order to deal with uncertain scenarios. Now we discussed in the previous thing that sometimes our agents are basically incapable to deal with to come at the precise decisions. So sometimes there is some inability is there. Now that inability is due to, we saw the reasons. Laziness might be there coming into the factor, or the incapability to capture the complete environment knowledge that might be there. So due to those reasons, the agent might find itself incapable to arrive at some definite decisions. Now in those scenarios, we have with us some other technologies that can deal with those uncertain scenarios. One of them is the Bayesian networks, and continuing with it, under this Bayesian networks, we will be discussing how to capture the uncertain knowledge, how to arrive at Bayesian networks, that is syntax part, and how to interpret the encoded knowledge, that is the meaning associated with the encoded knowledge in the Bayesian networks. This lab is there today at 11:30. We will be discussing one practical regarding one expert system. We will be seeing that in one of the AI languages. Fine. So characteristics of representing knowledge in uncertain domain. Earlier we saw in the uncertainty scenarios on the probability theory, what we saw was there was one joint probability distribution that we discussed, right? In which we saw that each cell, we are able to assign values to the each cell, right? Or it was another method, 2D method of representing the values of the different variables, fine. So the joint probability distribution, it can basically, we saw that it can answer any question about the domain. Fine. When we saw that in the uncertain domains, we were able to derive the values from both the probability distribution also, and from the non-probability scenarios also. So joint probability distribution, it was able to derive the values from both the scenarios. Fine. But what can be the other side to it is, that is, it can become very large as the number of variables grow, basically. So that all that 2D dimensional representation involving the space for representing all the variables, that space basically can grow too large if the number of variables also grow. So that is the other side of using that joint probability distributions. Now, alternative to this is Bayesian networks, which basically allows us to compute, what we can say, allows unknown probabilities to be computed to be computed from unknown variables. Fine. We saw we saw that in the previous topic, that is in reasoning under uncertainty. We saw that there was one joint probability distribution function was there, which allows us to compute the values in values which can be arising in any given scenario, whether it is the conditional probability or unconditional probabilities. But the thing is, it can the space can basically grow too large if the number of variables also grow. So we need to have some kind of an alternative, so that we can still determine the values which can be there in the uncertain scenarios. So one approach is we will be using this Bayesian networks, which allows the unknown probabilities to be computed from the unknown variables. Fine. So what are these basically? What are these Bayesian networks? What are these basically? It is basically a graph which holds the following characteristics. It's basically a graph which holds the following characteristics. Now, what are those characteristics? First characteristic is there are a set of random variables, fine, that makes up that make up the nodes of network. We'll see that how the different variables basically used as the nodes in the network. So one is the Bayesian networks or the belief networks. They're basically a graph in which there are a set of random variables that make up the nodes of the network. Now we discussed this random variable concept. So these are basically responsible for holding the values in the given scenario. Fine. And second is between these nodes, there are this directed arrows are there, like this way. Directed arrows are there. Fine. So these set of directed arrows between the pair of nodes. So there exists a set of this directed arrows between the pair of nodes basically. So meaning of arrow from node X to node Y is basically X has direct influence on node Y. Fine. मतलब जो causes हैं, मतलब node Y का अगर there is an arrow from node X to node Y, then it means that the reason for node Y is node X. The cause for the node Y is node X. That is the meaning of these arrows basically. Some reasons or the relations that exist between these different nodes basically. And the third one is, as we are using the directed arrows in this the Bayesian networks, so we can refer these Bayesian networks as basically a directed acyclic graph. Fine. Acyclic graph or directed acyclic graph, which means no cycles are present. Fine. No cycles are present there. So these are some of the characteristics of any existing Bayesian networks. Whenever we will be building up some Bayesian networks, So these components will be there. The random variables will be there that basically make up the different nodes of the network. Then there exists some directed arrows between these given nodes, and these directed arrows basically represent the relations between the different nodes that are there. And the Bayesian networks, these are basically the directed acyclic graph. That is, no cycles are present. Fine. Now we will see one example from which you will be basically clear about the different terminology that we are discussing. So one example we will be seeing is about lung cancer diagnosis. So we are having some data with us. What that data is, I am writing that on the screen. Some information is there in the form of some statements. What that information is, that is this information is there. I'll be discussing that just a while. This is the information that is there with us. Fine. This text has been taken from an book of this Bayesian networks. Now I'm highlighting some keywords here that will basically help you to come at some conclusion that what kind of terms can be there which can be used as variables or not. Fine. So some terms I have highlighted. Now this text basically says that a patient has been suffering from shortness of breath called dyspnea, and visits the doctor worried that he has lung cancer. The doctor knows that other diseases such as tuberculosis and bronchitis are possible causes, as well as lung cancer. Fine. Visits the doctor worried that he has a lung cancer. The doctor knows that other diseases such as tuberculosis and bronchitis are possible causes, as well as lung cancer. She also knows that other relevant information includes whether or not the patient is a smoker increasing the chances of cancer and bronchitis, and what sort of air pollution he has been exposed to. A positive X-ray would indicate whether the tuberculosis or lung cancer. Now this is the some information is there with us. Fine. Now this is the disease is there. Dyspnea, some disease is there. Now then another this major disease that cannot be there. It's lung cancer is there. Now, what can be the causes for these? The smoking. The patient might be a smoker, so the bad or the harmful effects of smoking are there. And then the doctor might also be basically examining what kind of this air pollution the patient might have been exposed to in case the patient is having one of these diseases. And finally, the result of this X-ray would basically indicate that whether the patient is having this tuberculosis or this lung cancer. Fine. So if I am saying that, अब हमने वहाँ पे डिस्कस किया था उसमें Bayesian networks में we need to have some nodes that will make up our network basically. Now the significant you can say the keywords or the terms that are coming up in our text is one is this disease itself is there, dyspnea is there, and then what can be there, the major significant term that is coming up is this cancer is there. Fine. And the reasons or the causes, the terms which causal relationships, you can say that the reasons behind these extreme diseases. Now this can be there, or this can be there. Fine. And then finally we have this result of this X-ray is there, and again this can be under this, come into this nodes category. Fine. So before implementing this Bayesian networks, you need to have some model with yourself. How you model the given situation. Now, fine. Now for that model, you need to have some nodes in it. The nodes should be such that some significant meanings have to be associated with those nodes, and then there has to be some causes and consequences which can be associated with those nodes. So, and then there might be some final outcomes which you might be trying to use in your Bayesian networks. So all these you need to first model it first. Fine. Then you will be able to build an effective Bayesian network. Fine. Now this is the one statement we discussed, or one example we discussed. And out of this example, you can conclude that some major nodes can be like this, and the causes for these diseases might be this, and then the outcome is there with you. Fine. We'll discuss this when we'll be using these nodes in our Bayesian networks. Now coming on to the further onto the nodes. Now nodes basically they can be discrete or continuous. Fine. Now we are basically trying to categorize the nodes that can fall into the different categories. Now, what are those categories are? The Boolean nodes can be there, which might be having the binary values. Fine. For example, you have a cancer node is there. A cancer node is there. Now, in this, the patient might be having cancer or not. Fine. So two values can be there. Then there is ordered values are there. That is nodes having the ordered values. Now in this you have basically a range of values available with you. Fine. For example, uh, in this paragraph, you can have the pollution as one term, or as a node with having some ordered values. Like pollution can be low, medium, or high, basically. Fine. So these values can be there with this the pollution node variable. Fine. The range of values can be there. So that will be we can categorize that into the ordered node category. Then you have with yourself integral values are there. Now integral values are age with possible values from 1 to 120. Like if some patient might be there and you try to categorize that patient based upon that the age category. Age may cater from 1 to this. Age may lie between this category. Fine. So this continuous range of values is there. The patient can occupy any of the values coming into this category. Fine. Now from this paragraph, from this set of data that we had, and the kind of model that we earlier predicted, we can say that we have this kind of an information with us. That is, from the model, what model we are trying to build is pollution thing can be there. Fine. And what kind of this variable is, we can have the category, that is the type category, and one is the value. Fine. And on this side you can have the node thing. Fine. Now the pollution is we can have categorize the pollution thing into this binary, having the value as a true or false, or low or high. Fine. This way. Then we have the node smoker is there. Now again, this can be categorized under the category binary with having values true and false. That is, the patient might be a smoker or not. Then again, the node cancer is there. Again, we can categorize into this under Boolean, and the values it can have is true and false. Fine. And then what can be else? What can else? This term can be there, the disease itself. So this can be there. Again, it can be categorized into this thing. Fine. So we are assuming this. We from the given data, from this given set of statements, we are basically coming up with our model in which we have categorized different key terms under the given nodes, under the given node that will make up our Bayesian network. And then we have defined the type column, and we have associated the category with these variables. Fine. What category they can be there, the binary. For the time being, we have associated the binary category with all these node variables. Fine. And we have the values for these binary variables, that is low and high value can be there for these variables. Similarly, for the smoker, it can be true or false. The patient can be smoker or the patient cannot be a smoker. Then the patient might be having cancer or he may not have the cancer based upon the diagnosis of when done in terms of pathology. So from the slides, the status can be confirmed regarding the disease for the patient. Then from the X-rays and the final outcomes, you can determine whether the patient is having this dysphonia or not. That is, again, this can be having the value as a true or false. Fine. And now, from the above model, majorly we have tried to define this node variables in the category binary, basically. Fine. So for the above model that we have assumed, what can be the outcome is there is no other representation for any other disease. Fine. We have basically tried to capture our this node variables only in terms of this binary category. And from the above model, we can say that there is less means of, you can say, representing the other diseases with the help of the above model that we have discussed. Fine. And then also we are not able to differentiate between heavy and light smoker. Fine. We are only saying that the patient is a smoker or not, either true or false. But we are not able to differentiate whether the patient is a light smoker or a heavy smoker, or under what category the patient can fall into. Fine. So this basically indicates that whatever model we are trying to come up with initially, that model should be able to capture the information fully in its entirety, basically. So only that way, basically, it will help us to build the Bayesian networks, efficiently, basically. So the structure which the Bayesian networks it should have is Bayesian network structure. It should basically capture the qualitative relationship between the variables. So I mean, what I'm trying to say is, whatever the discrete values the variables can have, whatever the continuous range of values the variables can have, our model should be able to capture all those relationships or all those values which can exist for the variables. So while designing the model, we should take care of these things, that the model using the variables, it should capture the values of all the variables in its entirety. That is the qualitative relationship it should be able to capture. Fine. So that is what the basic essence of the Bayesian networks is there, and we'll further try to take this into the deeper sections along with the various other examples. Any doubts are there regarding this in today's discussion? You can let me know, or you can post your queries. Yes, any doubts are there, you can please let me know. What I'm saying is, if any doubts are there, please let me know, or you can post your queries in the chat message window. And today the AI lab will be there at 11:30. AI lab will be there at 11:30. Fine. Same there in the Google Meet section.